Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Where's the beef? I mean, ped testing. But hell, beef, ped testing, it's all the same damn thing these days. Are you guys not concerned about Gervonta Davis going into fights without ped testing? Well, you should be. Because you see, we know they have the Dominican fighters out there who are monsters. Okay? Now, let's really understand here. You got Edwin De Los Santos knocking people out. I mean, just no Vaseline, making it real hard for guys in the ring. Edwin De Los Santos, Dominican fighter, is a monster. Carlos Adames, knocking people out, no Vaseline, making things hard for guys in the ring. They have no chance in hell getting in there with Carlos Adames. He's going to push through whatever adversity comes his way, get his shots off, and the opponents can't take what he's putting out. Then you have Hector Luis Garcia, 40-1 underdog against Chris Colbert, comes out there, no Vaseline, made things hard for Colbert in the ring, withstood some adversity. Chris Colbert couldn't take what Hector Garcia was dishing out. Hector Garcia stopped him. Got stronger round by round by round. Now, when I tell you this, right, you guys are probably saying, okay, well, where are you going with this? All right? You know, we know how you feel about Tyson Fury. You string together this 40-something minute video where you're suggesting Tyson Fury cheated. Now, look. With the Tyson Fury situation, there's just too much information and too much facts out there for us not to at least entertain that there was probably some foul play in those Deontay Wilder fights, and probably in all of his fights since he's returned to boxing after all the obesity issues, depression issues, wanting to kill himself issues, and everything else, right? But when we look at these three Dominican fighters, listen, when guys are just coming out there, man, blazing people like they are, all three of them from the same area, I just think we should at least say, okay, ask the question, are they being ped tested? Now you look at Jason Rosario, El Banana, right? El Banana was out here murdering people. And all of a sudden, El Banana slipped on his own peel, didn't he? El Banana can't take body shots. El Banana can't knock people out. El Banana getting his ass knocked out left and right. El Banana's retired from the sport of boxing. Got his money and headed back to the República Dominicana, right? Beautiful country. But we can't have Jason Rosario in this conversation because he's out of here. But what I'm telling you is, for Tank Davis and his team, and for Tank Davis to be independent and doing his own thing, I think Tank Davis kind of dropped the ball when it comes to administering some kind of drug testing for any of his fights. I really do. Now, conversely, a person could say, well, maybe he doesn't want that drug testing. How the hell is Tank so damn strong? Well, I would say that's a fair question. I would say, you know what? Tank is extremely strong, and as the rounds go on, he doesn't look to get tired and blah, blah, blah. I would say that. But I would also say, but I would counter them with this, right? My cross-examination would be, look at that damn video that's floating around when Tank was like 7 years old, and he was sparring some kid, and the kid was trying to get shots off on him, and Tank hit his ass with one left hand. And you look at how he changed that kid's mind on what he wanted to do and what he wanted to do not only for that day, but for the rest of his damn life. So Tank has always had power. And sometimes you see that. I remember being at when I was living in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. about maybe 50 miles from Pensacola. And I was at this boxing gym, and I used to go there, and I used to spar, and we used to train, and we'd be outside running 4 miles before we trained in our hot-ass Florida sun. And there was this guy in there with his son. This little kid, I swear to God, man, I swear I'm not making this up. That little kid was like 4 years old. 4 years old. And he was in there hitting, he could only, throw his right hand, right? And the father had gloves on him, and he was throwing that right hand hitting the mitt. Didn't really have much technique. He was just like throwing a baseball. If you would have seen how hard that little boy was hitting that damn mitt, I was like, what the hell? So what I'm getting at is some people, men and women, I've seen some women whip some ass too, right? And wolf. Some women are just born with, some men and women are just born with power. And that's what I'm getting at. And the messed up thing about that little boy who was in that boxing gym that day, I actually stopped what I felt was going to be a murder. The father, knowing his son at 4, he had to be 4, he couldn't have been older than 5. Knowing that little boy hits like that, the little boy was calling over to another little boy who was about his age. Now, the father had obviously been training his son to at least throw 1-2s. Although they were sloppy, he knew what a 1-2 was. But he hit like the man hit like he was 33 years old. And I was like, this little boy hitting like that? And the other kid was straight Dr. Seuss books. Straight Yo Gabba Gabba. Straight more Ovaltine, please. And the father was about to bring that little boy over and put boxing gloves on him and have his son spar him. And I was like, hey, and this is just what I said. I said, hey, you're wrong. And he looked, and I was like, you're wrong. Why would you do that? And the other kid's father was over there doing something. But the little kid had no clue about anything, the one that they were trying to invite over to spar. But that just showed you how nasty and toxic and poisonous that man was in there with the kid like that. So what I'm getting at is this. When you hit like Gervonta Davis, I have a tough time believing that he's on anything. I don't believe it. I'm not seeing it. So it is what it is when it comes to Gervonta Davis and the power. Now, for those of you who are out here saying, we don't believe there'll be any foul play. We just don't think so. I would tell you, why in the world wouldn't we at least be a little concerned for Tank Davis going into this fight? Because people know if Tank Davis touches you, out of there. You think Hector Garcia and his team don't know that? And now you don't have any pet testing. You already seen this damn Dr. Usman, Sajid Usman, come out. And although he was talking about more in Europe, he knows how to get around drug testing. He knows there are things you can do to not just be drug testing out there in the UK, but how just to beat drug testing, period. He knows which substances a person can take. He knows what can help with punch resistance, punch power, stamina. He knows everything. And all I'm getting at is, if you know there are doctors out here who know how to cheat, you even got referees who know how to do long counts, right? They're trained in that. So there's corruption in boxing. People can cheat in boxing. Why wouldn't we sit here and entertain the fact that maybe there could be some cheating going on when it comes to this upcoming fight between Gervonta Davis and Hector Garcia? And I am concerned. I am. I'm not saying that Hector Garcia has done anything to make me feel that he's going to come out here and he's going to cheat. Look, if you got power, you got power. If you have stamina, you have stamina. Okay? No doubt about that. If you train hard, it's going to show in the ring. I agree. Absolutely no argument there. But I'm just saying, these guys coming out the Dominican Republic, they look so vicious in the ring. I'm like, they're going to kill somebody. Like, that's honestly, when I posted that video, it was myself and someone else talking about that. And we're just like, how in the world are these guys getting those, how are they putting on those kind of performances? Like, we were genuinely concerned about their opponents because that's how amazing these guys looked in the ring. But that being said, there's no proof of any foul play on Gervonta Tank Davis' side or Hector Garcia's side. But I'm just saying, I'm a guy, I've got an eyeball for this, been watching boxing for a while, and I think my quills are out more than ever when it comes to cheating. And I'm gonna tell you that thing with Pacquiao, the guy who refereed that Pacquiao fight where he came out and said he cheated, that crap where this Dr. Usman Sajjad, who's been helping Tyson Fury and helping other boxers, and was the guy behind Conor Ben's failed drug test. When guys like that come out and talk, because see, a guy like me, I've said this in other videos, I'm an explicit guy. I just don't buy in to these narratives that everyone's cheating. If someone lose, you lose, in my opinion. You get your ass kicked, you get your ass kicked, all right? But when those guys come out and they talk like that, you know what, man? I feel Floyd Mayweather deserves a gold badge. He deserves a gold star for trying to draw attention to pad usage in the sport of boxing because, man, you're just seeing things that just don't add up. And it's not just pad usage. It's all kind of corruption and cheating that goes on. You know, you just got to pay attention, man. When you see a man who normally doesn't do certain things, all of a sudden now he's able to do the impossible, you should probably pay attention. When you see an opponent who's never gotten knocked out, never had blood and shit coming out their mouth and nose and ear and eyes, then all of a sudden they get in a fight with a guy who's not known for doing that to opponents, and he does it to what we may think is probably one of the most toughest guys in boxing. We need to stop and pay attention. Now, all I'm saying, if we take the aforementioned going forward, just pay attention to what happens during this Tank fight. Now, if Tank wins and everything looks normal, no problem. But if the rounds are going by and Tank, for some reason, is looking like now he's getting beat down, the blood starts to come out his nose and mouth and ear, face is swelling up, and Tank takes a knee. And he spits out blood. And you see his mom, who loud and crazy, jump into the ring. She throws the towel in. You probably need to stop and pay attention to figure out what the hell happened in that fight. And yes, I'm kind of drawing similarities of what could happen to what happened to Miguel Cotto and Margarito. That's all I'm saying. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Leave your comments below. I am concerned, to be honest, with any fighter, whether it's Hector Garcia, Tank, anyone, man. Doesn't matter what level you're fighting on. Going into these fights without having the drug testing, and we all know there's corruption, so I mean, how effective really is the drug testing if there's corruption in boxing? You know, when you got tentacles like a guy like Kinahan, guy like Don King had, and whoever else, man, those tentacles can reach to the testing officers. It can reach to everywhere. But at the end of the day, that testing is expensive. They need to figure out a way to make it to where it's more affordable, to where that they can have this. It should, in my opinion, just be a standard. Like that should be the norm. There should just, any boxing match, they do blood work, they do all this other stuff. You got to go get a physical. Well, do the drug testing. But, you know, it's basic economics, man. If it makes money, nobody want to get that shit away for free. It is what it is. That being said, y'all keep cool. Where's the beef? I mean, pad testing, beef, it's all the same damn thing these days. I'm in the breeze.